What's up, everybody? Xtramillion here once again with the fourth episode of Totally Sick Bioshock 2 Edition. This time we're going through Pauper's Drop, which is Rapture's really poor district. That enemy that you just saw there is the new type of splicer in this game, the Brute Splicer. They're basically about as strong and have as much health as a Bouncer Big Daddy, so you should basically treat them like one. They're also especially dangerous because, unlike the Bouncer, they can also pick up random debris from around the level and just like chuck it at you. The gist of this level is that all train travel has been suspended until we get the override key from essentially the master of this level, a jazz singer named Grace Holloway. And she's kind of pissed at Delta because she saw him with Eleanor Lamb, and then when she tried to go get Eleanor, Delta just like knocked her on her ass. That flower shop that's directly in front of me, if you go to the left and go up a little ramp, you can get on top of it and get Hacker's Delight. I don't actually pick it up in this level just because I don't really hack too much more after this. I just pick up a gene tonic slot and a health upgrade. The main thing that we need to get in this level is inside that pawn shop that's right in front of us, the research camera. In this game, research has been heavily modified. Instead of a picture camera, it's like a video camera. Also, you'll get to see me fuck around with the controls. The code is supposed to be 0047, but my controls kept screwing up, so... Alright, finally. But research, basically, once you start it, it's sort of hands-free. It's a video camera that just runs, and so you can focus more on trying to actually attack the splicer than getting like a good picture, like your Frank West or something. The way research scores work in this is that you basically have to get variety. That's how you get high scores. So if you like shock an enemy with Electrobolt, then set them on fire with Incinerate, then shoot them with a machine gun, then shoot them with a rivet gun, then hit them with the drill, you'll get a much higher score than if you just beat them down with, you know, one single type of one single weapon or one single type of thing. The upgrade I just got, as you'll see in just a second, is totally awesome. It is the electromagnetic force field that emanates from the drill whenever it's spinning. So it does consume drill fuel, but it reflects all projectiles back at their attackers, which is totally awesome. So you can reflect back rockets, all projectiles basically, except for some of the random debris that like Brute Splicers throw at you. So once I get my last ability for the drill that you get from researching Brute Splicers, I'll become effectively invincible once the drill is spinning. Now, this level forces you to backtrack. You have to go watch a Brute Splicer block your way, and then go to a different area and research them, because that Brute Splicer that we saw on top of the pawn shop, as soon as you pick up the research camera, he will mysteriously vanish, so you can't research him, so you have to go to the designated Brute Splicer that the game wants you to research. So it's not like I can grab the camera, then research him, and then come to this area without having to backtrack. So that Brute Splicer blocks our way, grab some more drill fuel, so that's one of the main reasons that it's kind of nice to come here anyway. So now I have maxed out drill fuel. So we basically have to go to another section of Pauper's Drop called Skid Row. And then research the guy that's there. Also, since it is impossible to backtrack in this game, you'll have to forgive me, so I have to do basically research on the fly as I'm going through the level. Also, take note, because this level is the last level where you'll actually see Thuggish Splicers, so it's incredibly difficult to actually get all 4 levels of research on Thuggish Splicers if you didn't already know that, since they don't appear after this level. This is also the only level where the rosy Big Daddies appear. Luckily, all Big Daddies, except for the very last kind you meet in the game, count as one type, so Bouncers, Rosies, and the third type that we have yet to encounter, they all count as just the Big Daddy label. Same with security devices, so security cameras, bots, and turrets all count as just security devices. You can't research Little Sisters anymore. You can research Big Sisters, but there are only 7 Big Sisters in the entire game that you can even hope to research. if you get all the little sisters. There are 9 of them total in the game that you fight, but obviously you fought 2 of them before you actually had the research camera. Behind me there's a scripted event going on where a bunch of splicers ambush a Rosie, so since I have full dual fuel and there's a vending machine right there and I'm maxed out on my health, I decide to attack this one and get some research on it anyway and get some extra Atom, because why the hell not? So the Rosie is basically forced to use melee attacks against me, since all of its projectiles, like the proximity mines and its rivets, can be reflected back at it. Also, you get more research points if you kill an enemy on camera, because the camera will eventually just stop. It'll just stop recording. So we'll harvest her real quick and get an extra 160 Atom, so that's pretty nice. Then we'll run around the corner and get Firestorm, which in this game, in the first game there was that electric storm ability where you could emit like a burst of electricity from your body. In this game you can do it with all 3 elements, and there's even a plasmid or a tonic that allows you to emit a random burst of all 3. So the first one we'll get is Firestorm. Which is just up here. Do some more research. Luckily, even though this is the last level that Thuggish Splicers appear on, all of their research rewards are pretty retarded. The only good one is their second level one, which increases your wallet cap from $600 to $800. Not that I'll probably ever have that much money. Their 4th level one is Scrounger, which is a completely useless tonic, and their 1st and 3rd levels are damage bonuses that allow you to do more damage to Thuggish Splicers. So this is the last level they appear. That's pretty much useless, so... So we have Firestorm now, and then we're making our way. There's that Brute Splicer right there. He doesn't actually attack you until you start recording him, which allows you to sort of set up before you're fighting him. So I go and hack this vending machine. The enemies that I do want to research in this are Big Sisters, Big Daddies, Brute Splicers, and Spider Splicers. Everyone else is just kind of, you know, icing on the cake. These guys only have a very limited repertoire of attacks. They essentially just punch at you, shoulder charge you, or just throw like rocks and stuff at you. Luckily, Firestorm does its job, and they also drop quite a bit of good loot. Now, with the ability I just got is called the Drill Dash, and as you'll see, I am not to be fucked with this ability. You just charge forward and smash people in their face, and it's pretty much an instant kill to most of the enemies in the game. It'll either stun or ragdollize any enemy that it doesn't kill in one hit. Plus, if you have some extra fuel and a straightaway, it's a pretty useful tool for just kind of like getting around. It's basically like a sprint function. Plus, while you do the drill dash, the electromagnet spins up, so it's essentially a force field that protects you while you're dashing towards an enemy. So not only are you charging towards them to bash their head in, but you're reflecting all of their projectiles back at them too. So that's pretty nice. So now we have to go to back to Sinclair's Hotel, the Sinclair Deluxe, and clear that debris. Leadhead Splicers have a pretty useful research bonus too. I believe it's their 2nd level they get. It increases the response time of machines to see you so that they just take longer. Or I guess it decreases the response time then. It increases the amount of time it takes them to see you. That's what I meant to say. Luckily, there's this little fuel thing right here, so we can just get 300 fuel and then bash everybody in the head in the area. And then I'll hack this safe so that I can get some more money and first aid kits. Yeah, so basically, if you didn't already notice, you can start up the drill dash. It doesn't do, like, momentum doesn't really factor into it, so you can be like an inch away from somebody's face and start it up, and it'll still do the same damage. So it's pretty much the main attack that I'll be using throughout the game, and it doesn't consume very much fuel either. I also use it to, as you can see, basically sprint down this hallway. In these earlier levels, I have to try to get as much research as I can on the Brute Splicer, because after this level and the next level, they disappear for the majority of the game and only reappear in the last two levels. So that's kind of the downside of this game, is that they added like 4 or 5 new enemy types, but it has 2 or 3 fewer levels than the first Bioshock, so some of the enemies obviously don't get much screen time. This is Freezing Drill. It's basically like Frozen Field from the first game that froze the wrench. This one freezes the drill. So it adds cold damage to the drill, and it makes it so that it has a % chance to freeze an enemy. Only this is probably way more useful than... I'm not sure why that Brute Splicer did that. He just set himself on fire and blew himself up. But each little tick of the drill there, as you can see, it does a lot of continuous damage very quickly. So each one of those little ticks or hits does... has a % chance to freeze an enemy. So basically, once an enemy's frozen with the drill, you can just keep spinning and just keep them frozen, and they die very quickly. So freezing drill is probably the best thing that you can equip for the drill. There is a tonic in this game that functions exactly like Bloodlust. It's called Drill Vampire, but you only get it as a level 4 research bonus from Big Sisters. So I most likely won't get that in this game, since I would have to deal with all the little sisters and research all the big sisters as early as possible, which would mean I'd only basically get it at like the end of the game, so it's regrettable, but I most likely won't be getting it. So now we're in Grace Holloway's apartment. We pick up our last tonic in this level, Keen Observer. It does the same thing as one of the tonics in the first game, where it basically just makes it so that the camera, your research scores are higher. So this level starts the first of several NPC characters in the game that you can either choose to spare their lives, or you can kill them, and that also determines your ending. So not only how you deal with the little sisters, but how you deal with these NPCs. Now, if you decide not to kill her when you leave this level, she gives you some items, but she also gives you some security bots to follow you, and since I didn't want to waste time deactivating them, and since I'm being evil anyway, since I'm already killing the little sisters, I decided to just punch her right in her face and then leave.
And when I tried to hold her, you knocked me down. Broke my jaw. So I'm ready, baby snatcher. Come on in and finish the job.
But like I said, Grace is kind of pissed at you because she was supposed to be taking care of Eleanor while Sophia was in jail, and then you come along, and it basically, she thinks that Delta kidnapped her. Now, you'll have to pardon me because, see this door right here that just opened up, and that I look at right as I passed? That's a shortcut that the game just opened up for you, but for some reason I decided not to take it. So we're just going to go ahead and skip to the bottom, and I'll spare you the sightseeing tour that I backtracked through all of the level in. So here we are, back at the bottom of the level. Why I didn't take that shortcut, I have no idea. But while this guy is getting this turret ready, we'll just activate our drill, and since we have infinite drill fuel in this little area, we can feel free to just run up to him and deflect all of his bullets. And then charge him and beat him down. So that's it, we're pretty much done. We can just make our way back to the train, do a bit more research. Kill all these chumps. Unfortunately, it still has that same effect where freezing an enemy doesn't leave their body available to get stuff off of them. As you can see there, that turret, you can reflect back its rockets at it, so that's really nice. Although, this guy throws whatever that was at me, like a stepladder. I'm not sure, or a dolly of some kind. I'm not sure why I revved my drill like I thought that was going to work. Alright, so we make our way back to the train, and then we go take Grace's override key and put it in the little slot so that we can continue on with our game. And that's pretty much it for this level, and I will see you guys in level 5, Siren Alley.